Hi everyone! Today I wanted to tell you about Time Slicer, a game I've made together with Volkan FL and I guess Rafiki, but we'll get to him later. So anyway, it all started when I went on itch.io to play some games and itch.io was like, "Hey mate, wanna game jam?" And I said, "Yes." So I called Volkan and I was like, "Hey mate, wanna game jam?" And he said, "Yes." Then I tried calling Rafiki and I was like, "Hey mate, yes." By the way, we are talking about Brackeys Game Jam 2020.2, where you have 7 days to cry in the pillow because your life sucks or, make a game. So there was the team. Volkan FL, art and level design. Riafiki, sounds and music. And finally, me, coding, level design and 3D modeling. The game jam started on the 1st of August and the theme was revealed. Wait, rewind? Really, there could have been at least 200 better ones. But of all of them, they chose the one which didn't give people too much freedom. Yeah, whatever. So I called Volkan and we talked about what we are going to make. We decided that we wanted to do something related to medieval times, but I insisted on making the enemies active ragdolls. These two ideas could have been easily incorporated from the start, but I didn't really care and just started creating those ragdoll boys. So I got to work and modeled a basic human in Blender. After a few minutes, just kidding, it took me like 1 hour, I ended up with this, which doesn't look very good, but whatever. I imported the model into Unity and started working on procedural animation. Spoiler alert, I failed, but I have some clips of my human-like creature trying to walk like a human, so yeah, enjoy. I also added a player who, of course, is a bean. After some time, I decided to move on and started working on level design. At this point, we had a plan. We wanted to make a game where you fight and slice enemies with a magical sword that allows you to go back in time, so it would fit the theme. We knew that it wasn't the most original approach, so then we thought a little more and Volkan was like,
We should add something original.
and I was like, yeah, we should totally add time locking so the locked object will not react to rewinding time. And he said,
Yeah, let's add it.
so we added it to the plan and then I went to coding some stuff and then boom, I got the sword to work. Yeah, it's cool, I know. It went through many iterations, however. It was a lot harder than I first thought to make the blade swinging feel natural. First, we check if the sword is drawn. If it is, we get the mouse input axis using Unity's input class.
I've been waiting for this!
Boring! Shut up, nerd!
Well, maybe, but I'm going to do it anyway. Then we make it lerp slowly from value to value. We also create a prediction based on prediction mode. The sword's tilt is calculated using the motion's y component, which is created by taking the sword's movement and normalizing its absolute value. Then we enable the sword's trail, which creates a faster movement effect. We also position the sword in the center of player's vision. Then we calculate the sword look transform, which exists only to make the rotation calculations easier by calculating a position and not a quaternion rotation. After we make the sword look, add the sword look object, the only thing left is to slow down the time. And yeah, that's all. Day 3 was mostly spent on level design and I don't have any footage of that, so instead enjoy this terrible drawing of a cat I made. After adding some final tweaks to the sword and making it slice things, I'm not going to explain how it works, I have no idea either. I used the skeleton model that Volkan made earlier and turned it into a functional enemy. Okay, I fix it now and gave it a pickaxe because I think it's dope. I also made him a spawning sequence where he pops out of the ground. I added the particles using Unity's particle system and gave him some more animations. Yes, most of day 1 work got scrapped in the end. In the meantime, Volkan was working on new levels. On day 5, I started working on the UI for the game. I used Lintwin to animate it and, in my opinion, it looks pretty nice. I also added this portal effect, which took way more effort and time than you might think. It totally wasn't because I got distracted by watching PewDiePie instead of working. Oh, and I added a new portal model because the previous one was trash. I made some fixes to the level and decided to end the day, because I was getting tired. We were getting dangerously close to the deadline and we still had a lot of work to do. It was clear that we were not going to make it perfect and glitch-free. Volkan was still working on new level layouts and I was working on the UI. I also found some time to rework the tutorial level. It was almost the final day and I decided that the game should have an opening cutscene. I've made it using Unity's timeline and Volkan did the voiceover for the scientist character, David Appletree. At this point I decided that I should probably check if I can build it. So I pressed the button and... Then I decided that fuck my life, hacked my anime girl pillow and wasted an hour crying. Just kidding, I don't have an anime girl pillow because I'm not a weeblo, and it's totally not because I cannot afford it. Oh, so that was the only thing I had to do. So I finally got the build to work. I also found some time to do the level design. Oh, and remember Rafiki? He finally joined the Discord call only to say that he has no idea for the music. On the almost last fucking day, he called that he doesn't have anything. Neither I nor Volkan had the talent or time to make the music, so it was looking like the game was going to stay silent. But then I discovered freesound.org, and it was like a blessing from God. I quickly threw some SFX that Volkan found into Unity and made it all work somehow. On day 8, most of the game was done. However, there were countless bugs and the performance wasn't that great. And instead of fixing those things, there I was, designing the last level. After some testing and making sure that everything works as I intended, I git committed and pushed the changes so I could compile it on my remote desktop PC because it would take some time on the laptop I had been using to work on the game. As you surely know, I am a very responsible person that plans out everything. Oh god, I have 10 minutes. In the end, I was able to upload the Windows version only, and it was of course in the last few seconds. I unfortunately don't have any footage of that, but I am sure that many of you could pick up about 20 Polish curse words from a 25-second fragment. Anyways, we managed to finish the game, although not in the state we wanted it to be. There are many glitches, some level exploits, and a lot of dirty and messy code that should be rewritten as soon as possible. But there is still hope for Time Slicer as we decided to continue working on it after the game jam. The game will receive an update soon, so stay tuned for it. The links to the game page are in the description, together with the Mac and Linux version which were compiled after the deadline.